Hello and welcome back to today's LA1 TV coverage of Enactus Jailbreak 2017. So, it's been just over 25 hours since the teams left Alex Square, with around 11 hours remaining until the 6 AM finish tomorrow morning.
Again, even if you're not taking part in the jailbreak, you can still get involved by tweeting us at LA1TV and by following each team's movements via the hashtag Lancaster Jailbreak 2017 hashtag.
Earlier, we gave you a brief update of the intentions of each of the teams involved, and now we're able to provide you with an update for each team and more detailed locations.
If you'd like to know more about Enactus, who they are and what they do, you can find out more on their website, which is enactuslu.org.
And if you'd like to support the teams and donate to Enactus, simply head to their Just Giving page, which can be accessed on their Just Giving website.
They've currently raised £2,279, which is 45% of their £5,000 target. Last time out, Enactus raised around £1,300 through Jailbreak, so they have already smashed that figure. But try and keep donating to help get them close to their target as possible.
So we now have some pictures of all the teams in their costumes.
Is that costume?
So that's Winnar, and these guys have gone for the casual look, which is fair enough.
Got a nice amount of donations there.
Yes, it looks like it. Actually, they've been collecting some nice.
Good job.
Yeah, some good money there. Our next team.
That's better.
That's a better costume. We've got some unicorns going on here.
Got the signage as well, yeah.
These are
ladies on tour.
Yes. So these guys, I'm loving that, and they've got the sign ready.
Yeah.
Sign ready.
Little
That's
bucket
crucial.
for donations as well.
Our next group here got BG Media on tour. So these guys, yeah, again, I like them.
There's
Thumbs
a bit
up.
of a costume.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying.
Yeah.
That's going to be out in the road, trying to get them a.
Good thinking. I like
Yeah,
that.
always good.
It'll be good to see how far they've got with that thumb, yeah.
Yeah.
The next one, let's move on. So these guys are Dumbledore's Army. These are one of our groups that are now back at Lancaster. So I believe this was one of the groups that headed to Manchester and then came back, which is fair enough. They still did very well. The themed trousers.
That's clever.
I like that.
That's good.
Thumbs up.
Okay, our next group. So these guys.
Right.
So who are these guys? They are the Fireflies. So jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Very orange is the new black.
And they've got snacks as well. They've got a pot noodle there, keeping them fueled up on the road.
Yeah, important. Because it's jailbreak, I guess. They're like jail.
Yeah.
Although it could be like a biohazard suit as well, in case they encounter any issues on the road.
Okay, our next group. Hitchhiker's Guide to Jailbreak. Now, I know these people. I spoke to them yesterday.
Yeah.
These guys raised the most before Jailbreak of any of the groups. So these guys with their Peter Pan theme, they got a free ticket to Manchester. I believe it was a train ticket, so they were able to get there a little bit easier than everybody else.
They're my favourite costume so far.
I can try and find out.
A lot of effort put into that. Looks good.
Nice theme.
And I'll get back to you with what they're doing in a minute once I find them.
Next team is House 96. Because they live in House 96.
Now, I did mention the banana costume yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always a favourite.
No offence meant there.
No, they look kind of miserable though. So that's.
But again, they stick out.
Yeah.
You know they're doing.
They do.
Pitch a lift. They're on a coach to Rotterdam in the Netherlands at the moment.
You know what? Fair enough.
They won't look out of place either.
No.
Our next group. It's lots of groups. Rom Solo and Brubaker, because it's like Star Wars or something.
Clever.
Yeah.
Got the little guitar. Or is that a uke?
That is a guitar.
It is a guitar.
Yeah.
It's quite small for a guitar.
Maybe it's because it's underneath the camera.
So these guys are currently on a flight from the Manchester airport to the Canary Islands, which is impressive.
Pretty far.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Good job.
We will be catching up with them in just a minute on the screen, so we'll be able to see them. Which is so we've got one person So obviously there is another person because they're in groups of.
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort. They're in groups of 2 or more. So
this is Shoot for the Stars.
This is Shoot for the Stars.
Or one part of it.
Or one part of it. Yeah, and they are off into Amsterdam as well. It's got lots of groups in Amsterdam at the moment, having a great weekend, I can imagine. Our next one is Team Clive, which is.
So was this the horse that Thomas was talking about yesterday?
I don't know
Can't
who.
tell.
Does anyone know what that is? I can't. That's it. That's the only way. Okay, our next group. I don't know how many of groups we've got. These are the Vagabonds with the labels still on their costumes.
They've gone for the Christmas theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit early.
You know what? It's never too soon for Christmas.
Oh,
I've got my tree up, so. So these guys are getting on a plane at the moment. They are. Wait, what's their team name? I've forgotten it. The 3 Vagabonds. They are off to Cheshire, aren't they? Are they? Yes, I think they are. According to my information, that's where they're off to.
Yeah.
Next up is the Imported. They've gone for the cowboy theme, and they've also got scarves to keep them warm.
I did speak to these guys as well yesterday.
Yeah, these are the guys who weren't from Britain.
Yeah, that's why they're called
worried.
the Imported.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of them's from Germany, I believe, and Canada and somewhere else as well.
Australia.
Yes. But yeah, so they're on a train. So there's those guys as well. We've got lots of groups. I think it's 15 groups this year.
Oh, wow.
So the next up, we've got the Liabilities, which says a lot about like how they're viewing this. But I mean, they'll be fine.
I like this.
So they are trying to get to Calais at the moment. I believe they're down at the Port of Dover. And then, last but not least, the Wildcats. Get your head in the game.
Okay.
These guys. Yeah. So we heard from them that they were in a car on a ferry with someone called Jane Austen.
Which is quite incredible.
That's incredible, actually. So
Yeah.
that's either a false name, or we've been just really insulting to this poor person called Jane Austen. So apologies to Jane Austen. Okay.
So Craig, can you tell us how the team's getting on so far?
I can tell you how the teams are getting on so far. So, if you hadn't tuned into the last episode, where were you? We have been exploring Europe, or our teams have been exploring Europe. So we have got some people who have already returned to Lancaster. So we've got Dumbledore's Army, BG Media on tour. They've come back. They've given up. We've got then a team. We've got a team in Central England, which is not going to come up right now. No, we've got the Imported. They're at Birmingham Airport at the moment. We've got a group in, not in Calais, sorry, Dover. That's the Liabilities, who we were just talking about. And then we've got a group in Calais as well, the Wildcats. So these guys, very much the idea that they're going to travel down and go to the ports. This has been the idea that has been most favoured in the past, but not this year. This year, the technique has been to get onto a plane. And that is why we've got such a wide diversity of locations today. So we've got the Netherlands, we've got people in Rotterdam there. House 96, they were there a bit earlier today. As far as we're aware, they haven't moved. They're probably just enjoying their day in the Netherlands. We've got a group also in Germany. But as we move out, we realise we've got a group, we've got the Vagabonds. They are coming into the Czech Republic and they are getting on a flight very soon, I believe, in about 5 minutes, I think that was. So we then go even further out, zooming all the way out. We've got a group right here. So this is Rom Soler and Brubaker. So these guys are in the Canary Islands, and they have travelled to get there 3,071 kilometres. We've got a group in Malta. The Clive, these guys have travelled 2,408, which is still impressive, very impressive in fact, but it's not quite near our 3 groups in Cyprus. We've got an extra group than we did have 6 hours ago in Cyprus. So our 3 groups, let's go. Our first group that's in Cyprus, this is our new group. We're not quite sure where in Cyprus they are. We assume near the airport because they've only just got there. That's Winar. So they are about 3,500 kilometres away from Lancaster at the moment. We've got a team, the Fireflies. They flew in and have stayed in Paphos there. And then we have got ADs on tour, and they've moved right along to the east of Cyprus, just about as far east as you can go in Cyprus there. And they are 3,530 kilometres away, which is an incredible distance actually, considering how far I have to zoom out to get back to Lancaster. So we're still going. So that's us back there, and that's them all the way down there. I don't think there's anywhere further that they can go to get further away from Lancaster. I'm sure they're going to try in the next 11-ish hours, all the time that we've still got left. But until then, I think they're just going to be enjoying the nice weather in Cyprus. I assume it's nice there. I hope it is for them. That's where everyone is.
Wow, so it's a very close call then between those 3.
It is. The group who are the furthest away, so the group on the east. You know, I'm going to zoom into Cyprus. There we are. So the group that are furthest east, which is ADs on tour, I believe they got onto a coach and they travelled all the way over to the next city along. The Fireflies, I assume they'll be trying to do the same thing within the next couple of hours, but they've still got 11 hours. I'd be trying to get some sleep and waiting for those final moments. But yeah, so it's going to be very, very close for first, second and third.
That's very interesting. That's impressed me, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think people would get that far.
No, nowhere near.
They proved me wrong. And I'm really interested to know now, have we at Lancaster completed Jailbreak? Because that's the furthest away you can get in Europe. So you can't do anything else. So is there a point in running it again?
I think it's got to open up to the rest of the world.
I think that's the next step.
Yeah.
It's it's just visas. They're annoying.
True.
So I mean, I suppose it's just a case of if everyone just gets to Cyprus, it's just a Cyprus holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see who can win.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're clearly just too good here at Lancaster.
We are.
University of the
We're
Year,
too good for Jailbreak.
We've aced Jailbreak. But of course, it's not just our teams who are out there who are working hard at the moment. We've also got the Enactus organisers here at the university. We caught up with them this morning, so let's see how they've been getting on.
It's going amazing so far. We have 2 dropouts, unfortunately, but apart from that, every single team is heading off to beyond the UK. So people at the moment, we have 2 teams heading or planning to head off to Paphos. They haven't managed to get there so far. A few people were already in Germany. They're heading off to Amsterdam. I think they've accepted they haven't won, but wanted to have a bit of fun just before they head off back to for university. Some historic places like Malta are being aimed at, and for Sicilian islands as well. So it's going very well. I think we have one team that isn't really responding to us anymore. If they don't respond in a while, we might just disqualify. But that is an extreme case. Hopefully they will. I'm assuming it's just because their phone is currently out of battery. It's going straight to voicemail, so you can only assume. But yeah, everyone otherwise is safe and sound and enjoying themselves. Well, I wouldn't call a 10-hour coach drive enjoyable, but the experience is always greater than the destination, isn't it? The main way of transport so far has been hitchhiking to an airport, and after that they've been trying to raise some money through however means. I'm not too sure how they've raised the money, but yeah, after that they raised the money at the airport, and then they've managed to get the airplane tickets, which they've been which has been a fantastic method so far. It's if, like I said, if this has worked, then we've got people going straight to the edge of Europe. So yeah, heads up, congratulations in advance to these people. But yeah, it's very successful this year, and we're proud of the teams.
So obviously, it's really tough for the organisers as well, and I'm quite amazed that they've managed to.
Yeah,
keep going,
they've been
keep
working in
checking in.
teams to try and keep up with everything that's going on, and they've been sending us info as well. But I suppose it's not just about who's getting the furthest. It's also about who's having the most fun. And there's a few contenders for this, I think. So we've got a group in London that we've already talked about. They are already partying, which is absolutely fantastic. And you know what? All power to them. So that's one of only 2 groups that actually have stayed within the UK or have not given up. What else have we got? We've got 2 groups in Amsterdam, or going to Amsterdam tonight. So they're going to be having a fun weekend as well, I'm sure. The famous nightlife there, that's going to be great. And then we've got, everybody else currently flying or going somewhere else. It's very exciting jailbreak, actually.
Yeah, it's still got 11 hours to go.
I know, I can't quite believe that it's, because it feels like it's almost done. I mean, still tune in for the next episode, because there will be more.
Well, yeah, I thought it's more nail-biting than I expected it to be at this point.
At this
because
point,
I know
yeah.
last year the winners got to Austria.
Yep.
So you'd kind of think, oh, you know, they're clearly ahead. We know who's going to win. But in this case, it's so close.
It's going to be down to a few kilometres.
Yeah, literally.
Which is impressive.
Absolutely. But we've also got to talk about, of course, the real reason that this is happening.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is not that it's a jolly, is that it's for charity, and it's for Enactus.
Yeah.
So that's the real reason that everyone is going, and they are doing all of the fundraising that they're doing.
Yeah.
And like we said, they've raised 2,000
on
the upper side of 2,000 pounds. So yeah.
So hopefully they've got a £5,000 goal this year.
Yeah.
They've already smashed last year's fundraising,
Yeah.
so good on them.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you know, if you want to donate, go to their Just Giving page. You can still try and get to that
Yeah.
£5,000 goal. Still time to do it.
But
The winning team gets transport back home. So they get the transport back from Cyprus reimbursed, which will be a treat for them, because the other 2 teams in Cyprus, of course, will have to be paying for their trip home. So if they can get the few kilometres away that gives them the win, they'll be having a nice trip back. Unless, can you attempt to get it back for free? Like,
I suppose you could still
try, yeah.
still try.
Why
You've
not?
still got
do
the
exactly
costume
the
on.
same. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I suppose the difficulty that you've got with Cyprus is that you can only get so far away. It is an island,
Yeah.
and half of the island isn't politically accessible.
Yeah.
So it's a case of how close can you, it's going to be really close. And I think the last little bit is going to be everybody trying to reach over the end of
exactly.
Cyprus.
And if you've just tuned in, the limit is Europe, by the way.
Yes,
We're not
yeah.
saying that Cyprus is the end of the world.
No.
But of course, there is the worry if you know, we did open up to the rest of the world,
Yep.
that they can end up going so far that they actually end up being closer to the UK.
Yeah,
If they
that
kind
is
of go,
that is a risk.
potentially,
It's a
potentially.
risk.
I just think it's something you've got to consider.
Yeah, but I think next year groups going to Australia. That's got to be
Australia or
there.
bust.
Yeah, that's it.
That would take most
But
of
then
the
once we've reached
time.
Australia, it's the moon. So
Getting your
Sky's the
travel
limit.
reimbursed on the
Yeah.
way back would be a treat.
I think
I think that's the
Mars,
next
and then you've
stage.
got obviously the next one. It's got to be like Pluto or something. Then
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then we've got to go outside the solar system.
A few
Yeah.
years down the line, it will be happening.
Yeah.
Lancaster leading the way. So our next show is going to be at around 1 o'clock tomorrow, 1 p.m. tomorrow. So all of our groups will finish at 6 a.m. And we're going to be trying to get some of them to talk to us, those groups in Cyprus to be talking to us for that show, hopefully live, but who knows, we can try.
That would be amazing.
Remember to keep your tweets coming in with hashtag Lancaster Jailbreak 2017 and at LA1TV as well.
Yep, and keep donating. So thanks very much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. To bring the final locations of all the teams involved and round off our coverage of Enactus Jailbreak 2017. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.